What's up guys, how you doing? Today we will be reviewing patch 1.0.2 for Dead by Daylight. This patch went live yesterday, and since then they have released 4 hot fixes. And we won't be going over every little detail, we'll be going over mainly the bigger stuff. So let's get right on into it. Balance changes. Adjusted cooldown of Sprint Burst. Now for this, at rank 3, they reduced the cooldown from 20 seconds to 40 seconds, which I think was a fair nerf, and it has made Meg not OP as she was. Next one is Will Make It now only affects healing others instead of on herself. If she had a med kit, it no longer affects that, it would only affect using it on others. Now another big one is Crows will notify killers of survivors who bore the entity for too long. So if you're just sitting around in one area campaign, eventually the crows will notify the killer that you are there. And oh yeah, a big one here. The Wraith now has better things to do than Cloak and Uncloak for points. They have made it so that the Wraith gets a lot more points in different areas, so you don't just have to cloak and uncloak in front of somebody on a hook. And let's see. Adjusted various score values. Now, for example, like Reunited, I know is worth some more points. Mainly this has affected the killers because the killers weren't getting a sufficient amount of points. Like, you could have a merciless victory and have 11,000 points. So they changed that so the killer does get quite a few more points. Scroll down to miscellaneous changes. Spies from the shadows will no longer be triggered when the killer disturbs the crows. So what it was if you were playing the killer and you walked by crows and you had this perk on, the signal would go off that to show you where the people were, to say. But it no longer does that. It only shows you the survivors, which is good. Alright, I think probably the two biggest things in this patch: killers are now awarded sacrifice points if a survivor leaves the game. Killers are now awarded bonus points if the survivor disconnects. So I think this is a really good change, because I know personally I would lose a lot of pips in rank because 2 or 3 people would disconnect from my game. But now, if someone leaves, you're awarded 700 points, I believe, and you still get the full sacrifice amount. And now, unspent blood points are now capped, and they announced, let's scroll down, that cap blood points at 500,000 now. So, I'm not sure the point of that, but whatever. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is another huge thing in this patch. Increased penalties for disconnecting or leaving a game. So going back to the survivors leaving, I'm not sure as the killer, I would assume it's the same, but I haven't had a killer DC, so. But survivors lose 3 pips now if they leave the game. So that's pretty much a whole rank. And I would assume the same goes for killers, just like I said though, not 100% sure. And we'll just go through the bug fixes really quick. The entity now manifests in its proper glory. That just means the animation is back to how it's supposed to look. Fixed an issue that could cause the survivor's HP bar not to update when they were bleeding out on the ground, so they just seem like they were just there forever. And let's look at these hot fixes. So hotfix A, not a big one, fixed jittery walking animations. Hotfix B, and these all took place today, probably within the last couple of hours. Fixed placement of bear traps near windows. Now that's a major one, because when this patch released yesterday, the trapper could not place his traps next to windows, so people in like spots like the Coldwind Tower, the school bus, they can just infinitely juke without the worry of a trap. Let's see. as we touched on earlier, capped blood points at 500,000. And they fixed Wraith point farming when cloaking and uncloaking. And they fixed the pip penalties for leaving the game, so now when you do leave, you will actually get the pips taken away from you. And then this, I think, personally, this is a pretty big one. Fixed issues that would slow down or break matchmaking for killers. Because when this patch came out, matchmaking was taking about, I'd say, 8 to 10 minutes to find a lobby of 4 survivors. Now, the time is still longer than it used to be, but it definitely is reduced. So guys, leave your comments and feelings on this patch down below, and if you did enjoy this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.